Skywalk Tequila 4. The Tequila 4 is supposed to span the gap between Skywalk's Mescal 4 and their Chili 3, with which it shares some features like the profile, skin tension and the C-wire reinforcing. It's a true three-liner, and according to the designer Alex Holwarth, it also inherits the outstanding climb rate of the Chili 3. But is it the right choice for talented beginners that Skywalk claims it to be? The Flybubble team put the wing through its paces. On the ground it pops up easily without using the A-risers in all but the lightest conditions, showing the benefit of the rigid foils in the leading edge. Normal launches are easy and measured. The wing pulls slightly forward when overhead, needing a gentle touch of brakes. In strong conditions, the wing wants to launch itself, so pin it down with the back risers.
And launches seems to be very easy?
Oh, it's really easy.
Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Effortless.
Yeah. I think if you pull it up a bit hard, it might come up a little quick. So you don't need to pull it up hard at all, just a light impulse and it just floats up really easily.
Launch very easy. Yeah, a good play on lifting it up. Nice and simple.
Landing speed is comfortably slow, but take care to avoid stalling the wing by using excessive brakes, a habit you might have acquired on other Skywalk models which featured long brake travel. This is due to the redesign of the brake position. Alex Holwarth explained that they had some complaints about the handling of the Chili 3, so they raised the position of the brake pulley and made the riser a little bit longer. The Tequila 4 has a better brake position. The handling feels more agile and direct, and the brake travel feels shorter compared to the Chili 3 and Tequila 3. We could reach the stall point on the Tequila 4 without wraps at 60 to 65 centimeters, the brakes at our hips. Brake pressure became moderate to high, and there was fair warning before the stall, which seemed to happen at a relatively low speed. It's useful to be able to stall the wing on landing in a strong wind without having to take wraps. The brakes have a small Velcro adjustment tab which allows you to reduce the size of the brake loop. Turning behavior is surprisingly good. It's very nimble. I was easily getting 360-degree thermaling turns under 12 seconds. It responds to the first touch of brake, but be careful. Alternating brake input can quickly lead to big pitch or roll. Because of this, I'd suggest the Tequila 4 is too responsive to be used for training, where the Mescal 4 is the perfect choice. It's easy to induce big pitch movements, but it settles quickly if left alone.
Whoa,
this makes it lots of fun to fly.
It felt like it would have front tucked, but it doesn't. First pitch. And it's back to normal. Whew, pretty good.
But also means that the passive safety is high. The wing absorbs the rough edges of the air currents and leaves you with a feeling of rolling over big plastic bubbles. You get a rounded bump as you encounter turbulence and enough feedback that you can tell which way to turn. Because of its forgiving nature, I was comfortable leaving the wing to fly on its own while I fiddled with instruments and camera gear. Recovery from a 50% collapse caused less than 90 degrees of turn, a mild pitch and little height loss. It's a very safe wing that received A ratings in most of its EN tests. Big ears were easy to induce using the split A's, producing a reasonable descent rate. Carlo had no problems on the medium. I found the ears on the small fighting to reinflate when accelerated. Even with larger ears, there is no tendency to deep stall. The speed bar was easy to operate, and the wing felt solid throughout the range. It accelerated more than 10 kilometers an hour, which is average for an ENB wing. In smooth soaring conditions with identical wing loadings, the Tequila 4 medium, with a pilot in a standard harness, was almost matched in performance with the Tequila4 small and a pilot in a pod harness, which is very impressive. The Tequila4 crept slowly forward and upwards over a period of time. Fully accelerated, the Tequila4 has a higher top speed and glide, but the Tequila was still close.
I mean, ground handles beautifully, it's very responsive, light handling.
Top of stack by Vincenzo, yes. Climb past Carrera.
Lovely.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Okay.
Handles very nicely. Quite firm when you get down here, but that's to be expected.
I'm lighter on the wing, but I still felt like I had good response from the wing, and yeah, still turned beautifully even though I was lightly loaded.
Really nice. The handling I felt quite sort of light to moderate brakes.
Very sweet.
It's like a sweet chili.
Yes.
Skywalk Tequila4, very nice rounded glider, quite smooth in the air. It tends to smoothen out the bumps a little bit, so if you imagine the bumps as being sharp jagged rocks, it makes them into rounded bowling balls. You can feel what's going on, you get a little bit of a bump, but it's not that hard sharp feeling of too much direct input and feedback. For an easy B, it's actually got a very responsive turn. You put the brake in, you go around. I was getting sort of under 15 seconds on my 360s, and it's doing that while keeping the glider flat, and quite a bit of energy and quite responsive. Having said that, you've got to be a little bit careful if you're an insensitive pilot or not quite ready for this sort of glider. If you put in a right turn and then a left turn at the wrong time, you're going to find the wing building up energy, and I was able to do wing overs super easy. So if you're wanting to do kind of acro and messing around with the wing, this is the one. It's not for everybody coming out of a paragliding school. It's for the students that have got a little bit more ability. Pitches, it has got quite a bit of energy there. If you come on the brakes, release in the second cycle, it's way forward and it feels like it's going to front tuck, but it was very impressive that it went quite far forward and didn't go. So it's got a lot of resistance to collapsing forward before it'll actually tuck. I'm very happy with the change that they've made, the Skywalk have made to their brake rigging. It's shorter, it's direct, or previous Skywalks have tended to have too much brake travel, and I've always had to have a wrap, which is frustrating on long cold cross countries. Your fingers start losing circulation. On this one, no need for wrapping. You just grab the brake, you put the brake next to your ear, you thermaling, that's perfect.